Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. Thanks for joining us. Did you know that one of the oldest theaters in the country is located here in Tennessee? It is the Strand Theatre in Tiptonville, which opened its doors in 1915. Today, our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson, will share some of the history of the Strand Theatre, its bragging rights, and then the person behind the renovations to open it once again in 2024 as a theater. It is incredibly special there to the Tiptonville community. We'll have the Strand Theatre for you in just a little bit. Then stick with us for later on in the show because I will give you a look back at the sights and sounds of the American Heart Association's Greater Nashville Heart Walk that happened at GEODIS Park on Saturday. And speaking of sounds, they were treated to TSU's band, known as the Aristocrats of bands. Here are some of the sounds from their incredible performance on Saturday morning. Stick with us. We'll be right back. If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing weather report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail. So this street looks like just any street that you would find in one of our small towns here in Tennessee, but this is actually in Tiptonville, Tennessee. And the building that you see right here is one of the oldest movie theaters in the country. To tell us more about the Strand Theatre and its reopening, we have our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson. The outside doesn't look like much, but I'm guessing it's all about what's on the inside.
Absolutely. It's kind of plain Jane now. And I suspect that when it opened in 1915, it was a more distinctive building on a more vibrant street. Tiptonville, as you might know, is up in the far northwest corner of the state, and you have to be going there to get there. I mean, you don't pass through Tiptonville. And it's a wonderful circumstance to have a first run movie theater in a town that little. It's not watching last year's things or stuff that you could see on Netflix. So for a small town, it's really pretty sharp. The family that does it is the Watts family. Weston Watts is a young guy in his 20s. He's the current face of the family. But they've been doing family entertainment in West Tennessee since the 1960s. They started off with roller rinks in Milan and in Jackson. Okay. And then they got into the movie business in Lexington with a theater called The Princess, which opened in 1922 and it has never gone out of operation. The one in Tiptonville had a long break there where the building was basically empty. But the Watts family has been bringing family entertainment to West Tennessee for decades and decades.
I'm fascinated. Yes, you did say it had a long break, but it had quite the history from 1915 to 1965 before taking really a 60-year hiatus.
Yeah, it was a theater for that long, and then it was used for town meetings and retail space, and then empty. And the Watts family got a hold of it. They installed one of those fancy Dolby surround sound systems. They've restored a nice little lobby there with a little concession stand and some of the best popcorn you'll ever have, and went back into the movie business in Tiptonville in 2024. So it's a new activity in Northwest Tennessee.
The people in that area, were they excited to have this back? Did they happen to share that with you?
Absolutely. They're really tickled. They know that they have major attractions in Reelfoot Lake and a state park that's there, and a wonderful museum science center called Discovery Place, which is one county over. But they're delighted to have something that brings some vibrancy back onto their main street. And, it's possible now to spend a day at Reelfoot Lake, go to dinner someplace, and then catch a movie.
Is it open 7 days a week?
They are doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday now.
Okay.
So it's weekends, and it's a function of demand. So
Gotcha.
they go with what's going on, and you got to think about it. This is only their second year. They're still testing the waters.
That's true. Well, I know. Well, obviously they have popcorn. Do they have other snacks? I'm a snacker if I'm watching a film.
I remember seeing some chocolate items there. So
Okay.
It's not a full-fledged concession stand that you'd see at a 15-screen theater building. But indeed, it's enough to keep you occupied. The popcorn, honest to goodness, is good enough that they sell it online.
No kidding. Okay, so we have a bragging right there.
Yes.
Bragging about the fact it's one of the oldest theaters in the country, but they have other bragging rights too.
If you're a rockabilly or a rock and roll fan, you know the name of Carl Perkins. He was one of the $1 Million Quartet at Sun Records with Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, and Johnny Cash. Carl Perkins was from Tiptonville, and when he was age 13. He wrote a song about taking his girlfriend, whose name was Maggie, to the movie. And the song title is Movie Mag, M-A-G-G.
Uh-huh.
And he wrote it when he was 13 years old. And it's a cute little song, but he talks about picking up Maggie at her house and trying to get away from there before Daddy with the double barrel shotgun behind the door knows that they're leaving. And they're riding a mule to Tiptonville to go to the movie. It's just as funny as it gets. He didn't record it until he was in his 20s, but it's part of rock and roll history. And Movie Mag had some people cover that, including this guy named Paul McCartney.
Well, how incredible. And I'm so glad they have this back once again. So I know this is great for the residents there, for those visiting. Is it worth making a trip just to go and enjoy a film at the Strand Theatre?
I think this is an add-on because you can see those theaters with bigger screens and more concessions, but Reelfoot Lake is so special.
So
you
true.
go up there, you go to a place like the Blue Bank Resort, and you stay right on the water, and you catch brim and crappie during the day, and you watch for bald eagles. That's the real draw of the area. But the Strand Theatre is a bonus.
I would say that it is. And thank you for making sure that we know that the Strand Theatre is there. So when we head back up to Reelfoot Lake, we have something else to add to our list of things to do. Tom, thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Keep traveling now.
We'll do it. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
Here's a look back at Saturday, where red was the color of the day at GEODIS Park when thousands of people came together for the American Heart Association's Greater Nashville Heart Walk. This annual walk gives survivors and those honoring loved ones the time to connect while walking a 2-mile stretch. This event also made it possible for attendees to learn about accessible life-saving CPR training. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in Middle Tennessee. For more heart health information, visit heart.org. Thanks for joining us this morning. Have a wonderful rest of the morning, and we'll see you back here a little later on today.